In the last video, we discussed about vector product. So here we are going to discuss about motion in a plane. So in the first chapter, or in the previous chapter, we discussed about motion of an object in a straight line. When an object is moving in a straight line, what will happen to velocity, acceleration, everything we discussed. So here we are considering an object initially at the position P. So we can write the position vector like this. Position vector, we are indicating it as vector R. After some time it reaches the position P dash, so that its position vector, we can write it as, if for example this we can write it as R0, okay, initial position vector, and this we are writing it as R dash, okay. So if initial position we are writing it as x0, y0, and final position we are marking it as xy. This is the final position. Now what is the displacement vector? Displacement vector is given by this. No? So this will be the displacement vector that we can write it as delta r. So here we can write delta r is equal to, displacement vector can be written as OP dash minus OP. How? By using triangle of vector addition itself, OP dash is equal to OP plus PP dash. No, we can write OP dash is equal to vector OP plus vector PP dash, or if we want vector PP dash, OP dash minus OP. Okay, and what is OP dash? OP dash is the final position. No? So we can write vector R minus vector R0. Or we can write it as, how we can write? R can be written as xi plus yj minus x0 I plus y0 j. Or we can write delta R is equal to x minus x0 I cap plus y minus y0 j cap. This is clear to everyone. Now how we are getting xi plus yj? We are representing it in component form, both vectors. So we will get rectangular components when we are representing in that way. We will get x minus x0 I cap plus y minus y0 j cap. Okay. So this is the displacement vector. So that we can write it as delta x I cap. X minus x0 means change in position or change in the x coordinate, no, x component. So that we are writing it as delta x I cap plus delta y j cap. So this is the displacement vector. Okay. Now if we want to find the velocity vector, average velocity, how we can write? Very easily we can write average velocity is equal to average velocity. We are representing average velocity vector. Okay. So average velocity vector can be written as total displacement by total time taken. No? So we can write delta R divided by delta T. Or we can write delta x by delta t I cap plus delta y by delta t j cap. So this is the average velocity. And if it becomes instantaneous velocity, what happens? This time interval should be very, very small. Delta t tends to 0. So we can write the instantaneous velocity can be written as instantaneous velocity. How we will write? Instantaneous velocity can be written as limit delta t tends to 0 delta r by delta t. No. Limit the time interval tends to 0 delta r by delta t, or that can be written as, here also we can write same way, limit delta t tends to 0, delta x by delta t I cap plus delta y by delta t j cap. No. Limit delta t tends to 0. From here we can write. Limit delta t tends to 0, delta r by delta t we can write dr by dt. Can we write? That is equal to, here we can write limit delta t tends to 0, delta x by delta t can be written as dx by dt I cap plus dy by dt j cap. Or we can write velocity is equal to this. We can write the x component of velocity, no, dx by dt. So we can write vx I cap plus vy j cap. So this is the expression for the instantaneous velocity, which is given by vx I cap plus vy j cap. Okay. And if you want to find the magnitude, what you have to do? Modulus of v is equal to root of vx square plus vy square. And to find the direction, in which direction that velocity is acting, have to find tan theta is equal to vy by v. Okay. So the velocity direction will be along the direction of the tangent. Okay. If you are finding, you can see that it will be along the direction of the tangent. Now we can see about the acceleration. We are starting with velocity. V is equal to vx I cap plus vy j cap. To find the average acceleration, what we have to do? Average acceleration, we can write it as, if we are writing average acceleration as average acceleration, that is equal to, we can write delta v by delta t. Delta v by delta t. So here we can write delta vx by delta t I cap plus delta vy by delta t j cap. Okay. This is the average acceleration vector. Now if we want to find the instantaneous acceleration, what we have to do? Same procedure. So instantaneous acceleration, we can write instantaneous acceleration can be written as vector A is equal to, so we are writing limit delta t tends to 0, delta v by delta t, when the time interval becomes very small. Or we can write limit delta t tends to 0, delta vx by delta t I cap plus delta vy by delta t j cap. Okay. Procedure is same. When we discuss in 1 dimension and 2 dimension, everything procedure is same. Only one difference is that here one more component extra we are getting. That's why we have to represent in vector notation. There we have written delta v by delta t, or directly we have written a is equal to dv by dt. So here again we can write a is equal to this, we can write dv by dt. dv by dt means rate of change of velocity. So that is equal to, here we can write dvx by dt I cap plus dvy by dt j cap. Or we can write acceleration is equal to, this can be written as its component of acceleration, no? So ax I cap plus ay j cap, where ax is the x component of acceleration and ay is the y component of acceleration. And how we can find the magnitude of acceleration vector? Same procedure what we discussed. Modulus of acceleration vector can be find out root of ax square plus ay square. We can find the magnitude of vector. Okay. And how to find the angle? Angle with which it is making with the x-axis, that we can write tan theta is equal to ay by bx. Okay. Is it clear? So by using this you have to solve problem. Okay. Now we will discuss about the motion of object in plane, motion of an object in a plane with uniform velocity. Okay, velocity is same. Motion with uniform velocity. Uniform velocity means acceleration will not be there, velocity is constant. So we can write displacement is equal to velocity into time. No? Or we can write, normally what we are writing, velocity is equal to displacement by time or displacement if. So if r is the final position vector, final position vector, and r0 is the initial position vector, and v is the velocity vector, for the object which is moving with uniform velocity in a plane, we can write displacement is equal to velocity into time. We can write r minus r0 vector is equal to v into time. All those can be represented in component form, rectangular components. So we can write xi plus yj minus x0 I cap plus y0 j cap is equal to, here we can write vx I cap plus vy j cap into. Okay, or we can write x minus x0 I cap plus y minus y0 j cap is equal to vx t I cap plus vy t j cap. Okay, or we can write x component, I component should be equal, j component should be equal, then only we can say those vectors are equal. So we can write x minus x0 equal to vx into t, and y minus y0 can be written as vy into t. Okay, so these are the equations of motion. This is in vector notation, or if we are representing in component form, we can write. So this is the equation of motion if an object is moving with uniform velocity. Okay, and next we will discuss about the motion of an object moving with uniform acceleration. Motion of an object in a plane with uniform acceleration. Okay. So here we are considering the motion of an object in a plane with uniform acceleration. Okay. So initial position we consider. Initial position is r0 vector, final position is r vector, final velocity vector is v, initial velocity vector is v0, and the acceleration vector is a. So to obtain the equations of motion, we are proceeding with same what we discussed in the case of motion in a straight line. So to get the expression of acceleration, to get the expression of first equation of motion, what we did, we started from the definition of acceleration and written acceleration is equal to change in velocity by time. No? So same way here also we are doing. So here we can write acceleration is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity by time. Okay? Or we can write at is equal to v minus v0. All those we can represent in component form. A can be written as axi plus ayj, and here this again we can write b is equal to v0 plus at. No. So this into t plus v0 xi plus v0 yj. What is v0x? It is the initial x component of velocity. v0y initial velocity, it's a y component. That is equal to vxi plus vyj. Okay. Now we can equate x component and y component. So what we will get? We will get vx is equal to v0x plus ax into t. Same way we can write vy is equal to v0x plus ay into t. We are equating only y component and j, or x component and y component. Okay. For a vector to be equal, y component should be same and j component should be same. Then only we can, or say if k components are there, k components also should be same. Then only we can say that the vectors are equal. Here we are dealing with motion in a plane. That's why only two components are there, I and j. We are considering motion in the xy plane. Okay. So this is the equation of motion, first equation of motion. Okay. Is it clear? So to start the second equation, we discussed from the expression, or we obtained from the expression, that average velocity into time is equal to displacement. No? So here also we are writing displacement is equal to average velocity by, we can write v plus v0 by 2. How we can write? Since it is in uniform acceleration, average velocity is equal to v plus v0 by 2, where v is the initial velocity vector and v0 is the final velocity vector. Okay. And instead of v, we can write v0 plus 80 or we can write r minus r0 is equal to v0 t plus, here also it is vector notation, vector half a t square. Okay. v0 t plus half a t square, v0 plus v0 2 v0 by 2, you will get it as v0 a by 2 t square. Okay. Now we can represent it in component form. How to write in component form? R can be written as xi plus yj. Again here we can write it as x0 I plus y0 j equal to, here we can write v0 xi plus v0 yj into t plus half ax. All those we are representing in components, whichever vectors are there. Okay. axi plus ayj into s. Okay. Now we can write x minus x0. What you will get? X minus x0 I cap plus y minus y0 j cap is equal to, here what you will get? v0 xt plus half ax t square I cap plus v0 yt plus half ay t square. Okay, so we can equate x components and y components. So what we will get, x component of displacement, we will get it as v0 xt plus half ax t square. So here no need of writing in vector notation because already only we are writing the components. Okay, same way we can write y minus y0 equal to v0 yt plus half ay into t square. Okay, is it clear? So this is about second equation of motion. And now we will discuss the third equation of motion. Okay. So already we know this expression. Then we can write acceleration is equal to v minus initial velocity vector minus final velocity vector by t. So from these two expressions, we are getting the third equation. Okay. So from we can write it as second equation and first equation. From second equation, we can write v minus v0 is equal to a into t. Am I right? Again, from the first equation, we can write v0 plus v and v plus v0 both are same. So we can write v plus v0 is equal to 2 into r minus r0 by t. No. This is from first equation. So we are finding the dot product of first and second equation. So what we will get? V plus v0 dot v minus v0. Dot product we are finding this vector dot this vector. Okay. So v plus v0 dot v minus v0 equal to, we can write 2 into r minus r0 by t dot at. So here we can write v plus v0 dot v minus v0 is equal to 2 into r minus r0 dot a. So this is also similar to v square minus u square equal to 2as. Here no need of writing in components because when you do the scalar product only, you will get the component form. Okay. Here it is not a vector, so no need of representing in component. Okay. Next we will discuss about the projectile motion. Okay. Projectile motion. So what is meant by projectile, that we should know. Then only we can say about projectile motion. Projectile motion means if any object, once it is thrown into space, after that it is moving only under the force of gravity, then that object is known as a projectile. Okay. For example, when you are throwing a stone only, once it is thrown, no other force is acting other than gravity. Okay. So we can call it as that stone as a projectile. Similarly, in the case of javelin throw, shot put and all those what you are doing, initially you are exerting force, because of that it is moving with some initial velocity. Once it is thrown into space, no other force is acting other than gravity. That is known as a projectile. Okay. Projectile is the name given to any body which once thrown into space with some initial velocity, after which it is moving through space with only the force of gravity. No other force will be acting. That is known as a projectile. And the path followed by projectile is known as trajectory. Okay. Trajectory means the path followed by the projectile is known as trajectory. Okay. So what will be the shape of the path? Here we can see that we are throwing an object from here. Okay. From the origin we are throwing an object with some initial velocity v. So once it is thrown, only gravity is acting, because of which the path followed will be a parabolic path. Okay. It will follow a parabolic path. We can show that, or we can show mathematically also that path will be a parabola. How that what we are going to discuss. Okay. So an object is thrown with an initial velocity u and it makes an angle theta with x direction. X direction, it is making an angle theta. Okay. Is it clear? So we can resolve this component velocity into two components. We can say u cos theta along x direction and u sin theta along y direction. U cos theta remains constant throughout the motion. Why it remains constant? Because here gravity is acting vertically downwards. Since it is along x direction, this gravity has no effect on x component. So we can say that in the case of projectile motion, which remains constant throughout the motion, its x component. At any instant, its x component of velocity remains c. Okay, is it clear? Now we can find an expression for the maximum height and all those. Okay, so first of all we can write x can be written as u cos theta into t. Can we write? X is the distance travelled in x direction. We can write it as x velocity into time. No need of considering acceleration because acceleration is 0. And y component we can write y is equal to ut. We have to write u sin theta into t minus half g t square. How we got like this? Ut plus half a t square. Here acceleration is acceleration due to gravity which is acting vertically downwards, and here the y component is u sin theta. Okay, so we can write u sin theta into t minus half g t. This is the y component. Okay, so we can substitute from this first equation. We can substitute for t. What you will get? T is equal to x by u cos theta. So if you substitute here, what you will get? Y is equal to u sin theta into x by u cos theta minus half g into x by u cos theta whole square. Or you can write, u can be cancelled, x tan theta minus half g x square by u square cos square theta. So here you can see that this is constant and this term is also constant. No? Once it is projected, theta will be same throughout the journey. Then acceleration due to gravity also same, initial velocity also same for a given projectile. Okay, you can project the same object with different velocities, but once it is projected, we cannot vary the initial velocity and angle. Okay, so all these terms are constant. So this equation we can write like this: ax minus bx square. No? Ax minus bx square, where a is equal to, that is a tan theta, and b is equal to g by 2 u square cos square theta. Okay, and this is the equation of a parabola that you will study in maths. Okay, so we can say that this is the equation of a parabola. So we can say that the trajectory is parabolic. The trajectory of a projectile is parabola. How to show that it is parabola? We have to get this expression. You have to get this expression and you have to show that it is equal to like this. Then you can say that the path is parabola. Okay. Now we can find an expression for the, but what is the time taken to reach the maximum height, and what is the total time taken, and what is the expression for horizontal range. Okay, so we can find the time taken to reach the maximum height. Time taken to reach the maximum height. How to find the time taken to reach the maximum height? When it reaches the maximum height, what will happen to the y component of velocity? It will become 0, no? As it moves up, its y component of velocity gradually decreases. When it reaches the maximum height, its y component of velocity becomes 0. So from the equation v is equal to u minus gt, we can write, we are considering v is equal to u minus gt. So here this is 0, here instead of u we have to write u sin theta minus gt, or t is equal to u sin theta by g. So this is the time taken to reach the maximum height. Okay. At this time t is equal to u sin theta by g, it will reach the maximum height. Then what is the total time taken? Total time taken, we can write it as total time taken is also known as time of flight. If we are writing it as t, that is equal to 2 times the time taken to reach the maximum height. No? So we can write 2 into t, which is equal to 2u sin theta by g. This is the expression for the total time taken. Okay. Now we have to find an expression for the maximum height and horizontal range. Okay. So maximum height. How to find the expression for the maximum height? We have to consider this equation. No. Y is equal to u sin theta t minus half g t square. And we got the expression for time. How you got? U sin theta. No. 0 is equal to u sin theta into g is equal to u minus gt. By using that, no, u sin theta minus gt. So t is equal to u sin theta by g. No? So that we have to substitute here. So we will get the expression for maximum height. So maximum height is equal to, if we are writing h. So the time taken to reach the maximum height is u sin theta by g. So you can write u sin theta into u sin theta by g minus half into g into u sin theta by g the whole square. What you will get? U sin theta into u sin theta, you will get as u square sin square theta by g minus, here also one g will be cancelled, u square sin square theta by 2g. U square sin square theta can be, sin square theta by g can be taken common, 1 minus half, you will get it as half. So you will get u square sin square theta by 2g. That is the expression for the maximum height. Okay. Maximum height reached by the projectile is given by u square sin square theta by 2g. Now next is horizontal range. What is horizontal range? What is meant by horizontal range? The horizontal distance covered. Okay, this horizontal distance covered is known as horizontal range, and that we are writing it as r. This is r and this is h. So horizontal range we can write it as r. So r is equal to, in horizontal direction, horizontal displacement, we can write u cos theta into t. No? So here we can write u cos theta instead of t. What we have to write? We have to write the expression for time of flight. Okay. So here we are using this expression, x is equal to u cos theta into t. So instead of x we can write r u cos theta into time of flight is given by into t you have to write, or u cos theta into time of flight is given by 2u sin theta by g, or you can write u square 2 sin theta cos theta by g. 2 sin theta cos theta can be written as sin 2 theta. If you know, otherwise you can leave like that also, not a problem. So you can write u square sin 2 theta by g. So this is the expression for the horizontal range. Okay, horizontal range is given by u square sin 2 theta by g. Okay, is it clear? And this projectile motion is very important. Okay, not only this one, all topics are equally important, but this is more important. Normally, too many problems will be asked from this topic. Okay, I hope all of you understood it. If you are having any doubt, you can communicate that to me. Okay, thank you.